How's everybody doing? Welcome back to Asshat Podcast on YouTube. Got a book this time. I don't do books that often on here, and I do read a lot. I collect movie review books, genre books, stuff like that. And this is one I picked up quite a few years ago. Matter of fact, it was, I'm thinking here, probably like 2008, 2009. So 10 years ago, a little bit over. This is Asia Shock. Horror and Dark Cinema from Japan, Korea, Hong Kong, and Thailand by Patrick Galloway. And this is, who published this? Stonebridge Press. Excuse me. And what this is Asian extreme cinema is hot, and this book celebrates all its, gory glory. Patrick Galloway, who last looked at samurai films and Stray Dogs and Lone Wolves, the Samurai Film Handbook, now takes on Asian masters of suspense, exploitation, the supernatural, and bone-chilling, blood-curdling horror. This critical guide contains over 50 reviews of fans and critics' favorites ranging from classics like Nakagawa's Ghost of Yotsuya, I guess. I'm not the best at pronouncing Asian names. To contemporary cutting-edge films by Takashi Miike and Park Chan-wook. Included are viewing tips, cultural backgrounds, and genre overviews. All right. Picked this up because I'm into Asian cinema. I'm of the right age where, I was, 7 or so when maybe a little bit older when the ninja movie craze hit the United States. I'm too young to really been into the martial arts movie fad that hit, with Bruce Lee. He died when I was young, like real young. But the early 80s ninja movie craze hit when I was a kid, and I was into them. Any martial art, I call them back then kung fu movies, I'd watch. I remember us having on the local UHF channel after Saturday morning cartoons, which went off around 11 or 12. Sorry about that. I need a sip of drink. They would have like from 12 to 2 was Kung Fu Theater, and it was just a different martial arts movie, and I'd watch them every week. I enjoyed the action in them, but I also enjoyed just the odd storyline. So grab this. I'll go through it real quick. Of course, it's a book, so it'll be hard to keep it open. And what the author does, he divides it up into different categories: family, society, technology, confinement, psychosis, possession, and hell. You get a little foreword and about why the Asian cinema is so different than American cinema, their views on supernatural stuff, how you can see these films, you're renting them, and this came out in, what year was it? This is when I got the book had been out for a little bit. Let me see. Motherfucker. 2006. Okay, when I got it. It only been, so a lot has changed. That's 2006. Since then, a lot of this stuff has gotten a lot easier to find. But, talking about renting, and you had Netflix and Green Scene, which I don't even think Green Scene exists anymore. And this is, pre-Blu-ray, kind of becoming a big deal. So you got talking about DVD region coding and region-free players and where to purchase this stuff, stuff like that. Okay, family. We're going to start the first one here. Visitor Q. This is a Takashi Miike film. I've seen it. Out of the Miike films I've seen, this is my favorite. It's very odd, and it's definitely not for everybody, but like I said, of the Miike films, I'll say it's my favorite. It's the only one I can really see myself going back and watching at least once a year. It's the only one of his that I will probably ever, out of the ones I've seen, I'm not seeing a huge amount of his stuff, that I could see myself buying because I'd watch it often enough. I had a copy of Each of the Killer that I bought because I knew I could sell it off for a decent amount. And I found out it was a direct-to-video thing. The Quiet Family, which is a South Korean film that it sounds pretty entertaining. It's about this family trying to keep they got like a bed and breakfast, and they're trying to keep it going and by killing people. Really interesting. Fudo, The Next Generation, another Miike film. Don't really know a lot about this one. Looks kind of like a gangster, like Yakuza style film, but I'm not sure about that. A Tale of Two Sisters, which it's another Korean film, and I want to say it's been remade in the States. A lot of these since have been remade as films in the States. The Ghost of Yotsuya, and Illusions of Blood. Okay, so it's 3 different films. One from 56, one from 59, and one from 66. All by different directors. I remember this sounded interesting from the review. Okay, let's skip ahead. Nang Nak. This is from Thailand. Don't remember anything about it, and it was not one that stuck in my memory. And then our next chapter, which is Society, The Isle. This is a Kim Ki-duk film. Sounds really cool. It's about these little like floating cottages on the lake where people go fishing and just weird shit happening. And that's another thing I've noticed with, especially with these Korean films, the gore levels. I mean, the Japanese films are kind of known for the gore levels. Of course, the Hong Kong Category 3 shit. But these Korean films, top of Suicide Club. This is a Japanese film I've been wanting to see for quite a while. I just not got a hold of a copy. There's a picture from one of the infamous scenes where a bunch of schoolgirls jump in front of a subway. I've always wanted to see it. And thankfully, this book does not really ruin there's a twist to it, and it doesn't really ruin it from my understanding. What else we got? We got Eternal Evil of Asia. It's a Hong Kong film from 95. I have this. I don't know if it's ever gotten an official release in the States. My copy it's got English subtitles. I don't know if it's dubbed in English or not. If there's a way, it has a dub track. But how do I explain this? It's a voodoo type film. And it's a couple of guys. They go on like a vacation to Thailand where they piss off this powerful sorcerer and just fucked up shit happens. Like one of them, the guy's head turns into a penis. Yeah, just fucked up shit. Really cool little film. I need to watch it again. I haven't watched it in a long time. Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance. This is a Park Chan-wook film, which I want to see. I have not this film, but one of the other films in this series. There's like 3 of them. I have one of them. I've never watched it. It's one I found it cheap and just picked up. I want to see the earlier films in the series first. Pulse, which is it's being remade. I want to say this one's being remade as an American film. I don't remember. I think since this book's come out, it has. 3 Extremes, which is technically the second 3 Extremes film in the States. It was released as the first one. This is a 3 short 40 to 50 minute films. One from a Japanese director, one from a director from Hong Kong, one from South Korea. You got Takeshi Miike doing Box, which is, in the copy I have, it's the last film in the theme. The most infamous one on here, Dumplings, which was by, is that Fruit Chan? Or is that's Park Chan-wook. And this has probably the only person in any of these films that people recognize. It's Bai Ling, the Asian actress. Box is hard to describe. Dumplings is this woman. She's a former actress, and she's starting to show her age. She's probably, in her 40s and starting to look like she's 30, and she freaks out about it and finds about this woman that lives in kind of like the projects that has a special recipe that keeps you young, and it's these dumplings. And when she finds out what the secret ingredients of dumplings is, she freaks the fuck out. And this is one where the director made a pretty much full-length film and then cut it down for this. And I'm pretty sure the DVD version I got has the cut-down version and then the full-length version. And then we have a cut, which is, that is the Park Chan-wook film. Fruit Chan did Dumplings. That movie is fucked up. This director comes home from working on a shoot in his house. He gets like knocked unconscious, if I remember right, and he wakes up in his house is like all kinds of booby trapped. And an extra for one of his films is torturing him and his family. Fucked up. And there is a 3 Extremes 2, which was actually the first one. I've got that, never watched it. We're Going to Eat You by Sue Hark. This is an early 80s, matter of fact, 1980 Hong Kong film about this guy who is sent to this island where they're all cannibals. He's like a tax collector, if I remember right. This movie is wacky as fuck. It's one of those where I watched it, motherfucker. I watched it dubbed because the version I got in, and I think it's from Netflix, did not have English subtitles. It was like, watch it in English or you're fucked. Okay, technology, The Ring. I've never actually seen this Ring. This is the 1998 Japanese film. I've seen the American remake. I've seen the, was it like made for Korean TV? I mean, if you know horror, you know the thing. There's a videotape out there. If you see it, you have X amount of days to get somebody else to watch it, or this thing comes out of the TV and kills you. Excuse me. I'm talking about The Ring, USA of 2002. Phone from South Korea. Don't really know a lot about it. A Snake of June, which is a 2002 film from Japan. Another one that I don't remember shit about. Never seen it. Haruko the Goblin. This is one I hear a lot about, and I really want to see. I just never tracked down a copy. Some nice imagery from the films here. Oregon, which is another Japanese film from the mid-90s. Like I said, don't really know much about it. The Eye, 2002 Hong Kong, Thailand film. Is this the one? I think this one was remade in the States, starring like Jessica Alba, if I remember right. Okay, yeah, Jessica Alba. Never seen the original. Do want to see it. And now we get into Confinement. Old Boy, which was remade with, Josh Brolin. I think it was like a Spike Lee film. This is fucking badass. This has the infamous scene where he's eating a live octopus, and the other scene where he just tears through this alleyway. I can't remember who the lead actor's name is. This is a Park Chan-wook film. He tears through this alleyway, just beating the fuck out of people with the claw end of a hammer. Like I say, it's been remade. Sympathy for Lady Vengeance. That is not the one I have. What is the? There's 3 in that series, and I have one of them. All right. We got Female Prisoner number 701, Scorpion. This is one of the earlier films here. 1972 is a Japanese film. It's like a Japanese women in prison picture. Heard really cool shit about. There's the poster. It's just another one I really want to say. I just have not got to see. And there is the star. Right. Like I said, I went through this book the other day, and there's like maybe 8 films in here total that I've seen. Covenant of the Sacred Beast, and they're Japanese films from 1974. Zero Woman, Red Handcuffs. I've heard of the Zero Woman series. Again, not seeing them. Some of the actresses from the films. Ricky O, The Story of Ricky. Hong Kong film from 1991. Okay, this is probably, outside of like martial art film, this is probably one of the first pieces of Asian extreme cinema I ever saw. It's based on a manga. This guy gets sent to jail for, I can't remember what now. And he's just got badass kung fu. Like, he punches you, and he can like punch through your head and all this shit. And he has to fight the leaders of each wing of the prison, and eventually ends up having to fight the warden and the guy who owns it. And there was a infamous scene in it. I can't remember exactly what it was, that back in the day on The Daily Show, back before Jon Stewart hosted it, this scene got used a lot on there. This one, trying to think of the best way to describe it. This one seems to be one of the better known Asian extreme films, especially back then. Now, a bunch more, because, 2006, this is, 12 years later, a lot more of them are better known, but this one is really good. I would like to see this with subtitles. The version I saw was dubbed. I don't know how great the dubbing was, but really, really cool. Another one, Men Behind the Sun. I have seen, this is a 1988 Chinese film about the atrocities carried out by the Japanese Army's infamous Unit 731 on a lot of the Chinese people they had as prisoners. It is hard to sit through. Battle Royale. Nowadays, this is probably the best known film in this book. It's from 2000, Japanese course. Real simple. Juvenile delinquency has gotten so bad in the country. It's set in the near future that ninth graders, so that's, I'm assuming their grades go like ours, 14 to 15-year-olds. One class each year is picked. They gas them. They take them to this island. They're given they put a collar around their neck that will explode if they disobey. They're given a random item that can be used as a weapon. And after so many days, at the end of like 24 hours, 48 hours, only one of them has to be living. Fucking badass. Basically, imagine a Hunger Games with balls is what it is. So fucking badass. I love this movie. And I've even seen the second one, which is not as well liked as this one, but I really thought it was pretty badass. And if you recognize this lady right here, she is from Kill Bill. It's the one that used the ball and chain weapon. Psychosis. Tell me something. A South Korean film from '99. I'm like, so don't really know shit about it. It's compared to David Fincher's Seven, so I'm not the biggest fan of Seven. Memories of Murder, another Korean film from 2003. I've noticed almost every one of these Korean films is South Korean. I don't think much comes out of North Korea. Dr. Lamb, 1992, Hong Kong. It's a Category 3 film. And let me explain Category 3 for you. I don't know. Category 3 is the Hong Kong equivalent of, unrated or NC-17, but it does not have the connotation that has in the States of being, pornographic. It's usually like extreme violence and gore, and this is about a serial killer. Ichi the Killer. Okay, 2001 Takashi Miike. This was the second, I think this is the second Miike film I've ever seen. No. Not a fan of it. It's one of those where it's got its good parts. There's whole scenes of 20 and 30 minutes long in the film that don't need to be there, in the pacing. It's like for every 2 minutes of really good shit, you got to sit through 15 to 20 minutes of just boring boredom. As I said earlier, I had it on DVD. I found it this year, maybe late last year, at a thrift store in town, and picked it up because I knew the DVD was out of print, and I could sell it for definitely more than what I paid for it. I paid like $1, and within 2 days of me having it up in lists, hey, I got this for sale, it sold for way more than I paid for it. Ichi is an assassin who this guy is brainwashed and used to kind of take his revenge on a Yakuza gang. There's Kakihara, the people. This is, if you see the cover, you think this is Ichi. Look, he's got the little Glasgow smile. And you're like saying, There's a character. There's Ichi right there, and there's who is that next to him? Gigi, Kakihara, Karen, and Kaneko. Say Yes. It's about not picking hitchhikers. It's a 2001 South Korean film. Another one I want to see, just haven't seen. The Untold Story. It's about a guy who takes over a restaurant and starts using human meat in the pork buns. This is one I've heard about for years. In the mid-90s, when I really got into tape trading for movies, I was already into tape trading for wrestling VHS. This film was one of those that I don't know where it had come out on VHS or Laserdisc with like English subtitles or dubbed in English. It could have been Australia, it could have been the UK, I'm not sure, maybe even Japan. But this was a film that everybody was looking for, kind of like Story of Ricky O, and a few others. This was the big one. And it took me quite a while to finally get to see it. And it's really damn good. I need to get a copy. Under the Blossoming Cherry Trees. 1975 Japan film. It didn't, I'll be honest, reading about it didn't catch my attention. This is from Thailand. It says, Angulimala. And Anguli is finger and Mala is rosary. Angulimala is a religious fanatic and mass murderer in ancient India who, as legend has it, believed the path to enlightenment was strewn with 1,000 corpses, and once you relieve that number of people from their burdensome existence, taking the pinky of their right hands to see if they reach nirvana, or as they call it in the movie, the Dharma core. Okay. That's a badass poster, though. Inner Senses, a 2002 Hong Kong film. I normally refrain from blowing the endings of movies, but in the case of Inner Senses, there's simply no avoiding it. The subject matter of the film and the death of star Leslie Cheung soon after its release are so inextricably entwined, it's impossible to have a meaningful discussion without spoiling the film's ending. So it's like, skip ahead if you don't want the ending spoiled. So I'm skipping ahead. Another Heaven, which is a early 2000s Japanese film. This is their Possession. It's like ghost shit. I'm not that big in this stuff. Body Jumper, which is a Thailand film from early 2001. Evil Dead This was another one. This is a Japanese film from '88. This was another one that, in them tape trading days, was getting passed around, and it was kind of, I remember seeing the catalogs, the Japanese take on Evil Dead, and I'm like, oh, well. And I have seen this. It is available on DVD in the U.S. in a, I want to say it's subtitle. I got it from Netflix. But it's one of those I've watched like once. It was entertaining. Guinea Pig, Devil's Experiment, Japan, 1988. This is basically, the Guinea Pig films were special effects demonstration reels, pretty much. Extreme gore, no plot, and they're the films that Chris Gore from Film Threat, as far as I know, is the one that showed a copy to Charlie Sheen, a very coked up Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen thought he saw a real snuff flick and reported it to the feds, and a bunch of bullshit happened. Hell. And this is a movie called Hell, or Jigoku, which is a 1960 Japanese film. Heard a lot about, want to see it, just never bothered tracking down a copy. And there's a remake from '99. It's supposed to be really, really bad. Really cool poster there. Living Hell, Aiki Jigoku, 2000 Japanese film. I think Jikoku actually means hell. Oh, Chinyo and her trusty stun gun from Living Hell. Looks kind of like Michael Myers. Erotic Ghost Story 2, 1991 from Hong Kong. Not this one, but the original Erotic Ghost Story is another one of those that was, had good word of mouth through the tape trading circuit back in the day. And I don't know if that's because it was a good film because it had titties in it. Titties kind of rule over a lot of shit. Guts of a Virgin. 1986. Back in the 80s when most slasher filmmakers were splicing up their bloody offerings with a bit of the old in and out, Kazuzo Komizu, a.k.a. Gaira, from the Big Green Meaning in the War of the Gargantuas, was thinking just opposite. Working at Nikatsu, Gaira decided to up the ante on the studio's line of romantic pornography. Films by adding depraved carnage sequences, resulting in what he called horror plus eros. Eros, yes. And it worked. Guts, or Entrails of a Virgin, essentially one long fuckfest interspersed with the occasional impalement, hanging, or beheading, was a hit, although no virgin entrails were actually on offer. The story concerns the members of a photo shoot, sleazy photographer, his sleazier boss, easy models, and a maltreated crew holed up in an old house overnight. It's not like he can just drive in fog. Some kind of lust-spawned incubus is prowling around the grounds, picking off the horny group one by one and doing some diddling of his own. It's all rather sore, and there's a definite misanthropy to the film, reminiscence of Henry George's Clous Diabolique, but somehow the elements stick into place, making for an uncomfortable yet can't-look-away film experience. Go Second Time Virgin. Yuki Naidomo no Shoujo? Shoujo? I thought shoujo meant female. Okay, well, whatever. 1969 Japanese film. Can a boy and girl find love in the nightmare of gang rape, mass murder, and bad beatnik poetry? I don't know, can they? The Joy of Torture. And this is another Japanese film, 1968. Yakuza Punishment and Lynching. There's a lot of films like this. Versus 2000 Japan. This is one actually I've never watched all of them. There's two cuts. I don't know which cut I have. I think I got the original. Basically, Versus the kind of film that should be in every household, like food, beer, light bulbs, a phone book, and a can of WD-40. It's that essential. Once you've seen this truly magnificent hybrid of Yakuza, zombie, samurai, vampire, reincarnation, martial arts, occult, comedy, and action, you'll understand and seek out your own copy. You're lucky. It's much easier to come by today than years ago when I bought mine. A Japanese import for which I paid an arm and a leg. But what the hell, with so many arms and legs flying around the picture, I got my money's worth. The film opens with text that reads, there are 666 portals that connect this world to the other side. They are concealed from all human beings. Somewhere in Japan exists the 444th portal, the Forest of Resurrection. And it's basically this guy in a forest running around killing motherfuckers for 119 minutes. Really badass. Wild Zero. This is the Yeah, this is the film that's kind of best known for Guitar Wolf, the psychobilly band in it. The Seventh Curse, 1986 Hong Kong. Yeah. I'm not that big on. Is that Chow Yun Fat? Hey, Chow Yun Fat. And then we got a bibliography and internet, which all this internet shit's worthless now. A lot of it, and then an index, you know. Neat little reference book. And they give some other books. And you got a Yakuza book, an anime encyclopedia. Midnight. I got a new Japanese film, Stray Dogs and Lone Wolves. It's a neat little book. Don't hear anybody ever talking about it, so I thought, what the fuck, I'll talk about it. So, hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give me a thumbs up. You know, subscribe. And if you want to leave a comment, how about, let's see. I got an idea for a comment. How about you tell me what the first Asian shock, Asian extreme film you saw was, if you've seen any. You know, it could be, you know, something like, hell, it's a shocking film, The Crippled Masters, you know, something like that, or it could, you know, be something else. It could be, you know, Battle Royale or Ichi the Killer, you know, something like that. I'm just curious. But, all right, talk to everybody later. Bye-bye.